Hey YouTube, Zombie Piper. I am in this zombie barn of horrors, smoking my rebuilt or reworked, refurbished, redone Custobilt with Hobbit's-weed. Hobbit's-weed is a lovely blend of tobacco, aromatic, and when I inhale and breathe it out, just a few seconds afterward, I get this taste in the tip of my tongue that reminds me of a Luden's cough drop, that cherry kind. I don't know if you all know what those are, but very cool feeling, brings me back to my childhood almost. I've started rereading Lord of the Rings. And it's very interesting. Trying to read more, be a better read person. I've also read a book entitled The Poetic Eddas. It's a collection of stories from the Viking Age and what they believed, some of their tales that passed down from generation to generation. And in it is a book called the Havamal, which I love. The Havamal is fabled to be words of wisdom handed down from Odin to man. Very interesting take on how the people of the Viking Age thought of life. Here's a few words from it, from the Havamal. And this is the translation from a Mr. Jackson Crawford, who is a professor at University of Boulder in Colorado. The Havamal. At every doorway before you enter, you should look around. You should take a good look around, for you never know where your enemies might be seated within. Hail to a good host. A guest has come inside. Where should he sit? He is impatient, standing on the threshold, ready to try his luck. He needs a fire, the one who has just come in. His knees are shivering. Food and dry clothes will do him well after his journey over the mountains. He needs water, the one who has just arrived. Dry clothes and a warm welcome from a friendly host. And if he can get it, a chance to listen and be listened to. Sorry, got a dry throat. A man needs wisdom if he plans to wander widely. Life is easier at home. He'll be laughed at if he sits among the wise and has nothing to say. A wise man is not showy about his wisdom. He guards it carefully. He is silent when he comes to a stranger's home. The wise man seldom wanders into harm, for you can never have a more faithful friend than a good supply of wisdom. The watchful guest, when he arrives for a meal, should keep his mouth shut, listening with his ears and watching with his eyes. That's how one gets wise. A man is happy if he finds praise and friendship within himself. You can never be sure of where you stand in someone else's heart. A man is happy if he finds good advice within himself. Many men have received bad advice by trusting someone else. A traveler cannot bring a better burden on the road than plenty of wisdom. It will prove better than money in an unfamiliar place. Wisdom is the comfort of the poor. That's just 10 stanzas from the Havamal. I absolutely love that book. They had a darker way of looking at things, a different way of looking at things. Life was probably a little more precious to those people. It didn't last as long. Very cold environment they lived in. Very brutal. That's where the Vikings came in. They were running out of land and they needed more. Had to have some incursions in England and Ireland, Scotland, Russia, places like that. My family, from what I have heard so far, voyaged over to the Russian side, took some land over there. And back to Sweden, of course. Skull. Anyway, I'm looking into my heritage. I know it's a big kick nowadays, but I'm jumping on that bandwagon. My grandmother has a lot of it written down. My Uncle John, who's the oldest son of my grandma, my dad's oldest brother, is kind of the family historian. He knows a lot. And it's really interesting going back and seeing our name change. We started out as Anderson, Webloom, now Seabloom. Pretty cool stuff. Proud of my heritage, but bottom line, we're all the same. We're Americans. That should be first and foremost. But like I said, I love my heritage. My grandmother, my dad's mother, had a saying. She said it in a lot of the letters she wrote at the bottom. She wrote, "I am fat, hope you are the same." Thought that was kind of strange when I was younger. As I'm getting older, I understand what she means. You know, she was a Depression era child, and coming from the Swedish side, it's, you know, a little more fatalistic than other societies. Being fat meant you were doing well, had plenty to eat. So she's wishing me that I have everything I need and plenty to eat. Until next time, this is Zombie Nation, saying that I am fat, and hope you all are the same.